maybe I don't know the answer, but I would love for you to help me along with it and explaining that these are the things that are important to you, and go from there in a different way about it versus grilling the question. And then number 2 is the real cold hard facts of this from a man's perspective. If I've been in a position to where I was not invested into the relationship anymore, and handling it like your parents would have taught, or like a man should, and have healthy communication, is really a difficult position, because there's a lot of time where you're confused and time's been invested into a relationship. And as a man, sometimes you just need a minute to find out what it is that I'm not getting, and can this partner give it to me in the long run. And when you're confused, you don't want to have this conversation and break something off when you don't necessarily believe that it should yet. But so then you start kind of pushing away and grasping at straws to where it gets very confusing. And the surefire way to accelerate that breakup, or accelerate it to go the other way, is to grill the guy. Why don't you do this for me anymore? Why don't you do that for me? I'm just backing off more. I'm not getting closer to dive in because I'm confused in that moment. So I think that from the man's perspective, if you push in this moment, the man's going to back off. If you supply space, understanding, and remember and get to know your partner and find out who that man really is and anticipate his needs, I think you're going to find a little success there in getting him back. And the question was phrased in that way. How do I get my man back into this? And I think that's a mistake women make time and time again, is there's no getting back. There's no trapping. This is a mutual relationship. And the most successful relationships are with space and mutual respect. And when respect's broken down from the man's side, it's very hard to fall back in love if you don't respect your partner. And if you're constantly trying to manipulate who you are, change who you are to support me, I'm going to understand and identify that, and I'm going to have a tough time falling in love with you. That's the hard way to say it. But if you can be a woman that holds yourself in high regard, it's an open door policy. I have a lot to offer, and you can be alongside this or not. That's a really powerful woman. That's someone that I am attracted to. That's someone who I want to be alongside of. And I hope that perspective helps. But it's also, I find, very hard for some to achieve. And it has to do with some values and self-worth there. The door is open, young man. You can either be along me as a strong, independent woman, or not. That's going to add a healthy dynamic to the relationship. It's going to make the man want to go above and beyond and understand, this is important to me too. So you have to be willing to let go to build. And that's something that I've learned. I've made all of the mistakes in my previous relationships to get to the point where I am now. And I can understand that those are the things that I need. So I need to have mutual respect. I need to know that you're not changing yourself for me. And I need to know that in crisis and in tough times, you're able to anticipate me and add some understanding. And then I'll reciprocate. Then I want to be in this with you. Then I want to, almost one-up you on your love for me. And it can be a fun challenge. How much do you love me? How much do you love me? That gets to be where you're really clicking on all cylinders. So I hope this helps. Cheers.